join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to the Select Board meeting, June 19th, 2023. Comments from citizens. I'm going to start there. Comments from citizens. Anne Marie.
Is this where, if you're not on the agenda, you speak?
And if it's not something that's on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just wondering that
Yes, no one.
Excuse me? Somebody else has the floor. Thank you.
I was wondering about the sidewalk vote last week. That people in Perkinsville didn't know anything about it, and I understand from the minutes it was a split 2-2 tie. The minutes didn't say who voted for or against it, but I don't believe they probably live in the village, and the one next door lives in the village. And-
I don't live in the village, I voted for it.
And, I just want to say that probably people would have turned out for that to discuss it. And, that place is really busy. Kids are walking 2 ways into the field. People walk there because that's their daily constitutional. There's, and big trucks just keep on whizzing by there, not keeping the speed limit still. And, I know that 20 years ago there was a big to do about putting in sidewalks in the way. That was about 20 years ago. I think things have changed, and also it can be done through bike lanes. And just, when I was talking about the speed limit being limited, when I was talking to the state and legislature, they said they can narrow the white lines a little bit, still be enough for a car. And now we give, bike paths, cycle paths, and pedestrians more room to walk. But some of it, it's like about this far, like 12 inches to walk on. Cars are whizzing by, so. And the other thing is, when village trustees asked, dissolve the village, they asked that things be notified on things concerning them. And, I just feel somebody needs to vote on this one. And the other thing is that about a year ago, a speed limit sign was requested down by Hoisington Field. That has become a major asset. It's about the only thing the village has for a gathering place. People go out there for barbecues, kids walk down there and play games, and it's great to hear laughter coming to the village because the village is pretty old, and it's nice to have younger families moving in and using that. And I guess I don't know what I'm asking, but I was wondering, can the sidewalk vote be at least studied or get some public comment, or I'm not sure how that goes. And also, I guess the second thing is, what about the speed limit sign down by Weathersfield, which would be a great asset. It's so active there, cars are filling out, people are walking. I think those are my 2 main things.
You want to start or you want me to?
I can address the speed limit sign.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want me to go
Sure.
after you?
No, go ahead.
So the permit has been submitted to the state, and we are prepared to install it in Perkinsville once that permit is approved by the state. And that's where we're at. I talked to the chief of police last week, and we're just waiting on the state to approve the permit.
Well, it's with the state. Can't somebody pick up the phone and go, hey, because I understand it's been a while now.
Yep.
You're waiting for a signature from the state.
So
Seems like it's falling between the cracks and.
it didn't fall between the cracks. We actually reached out to the state last week on, I believe, Wednesday. So we'll continue following up with them. But again, once the state signs the permit, the sign will be installed, and I believe Ray and Bill Daniels is working on that. Is that right? Did Bill reach out to you?
I told Bill I could help out if he
Okay.
could help install something, but we're waiting on permits and how to install it, and there's, spell it right out for us.
Yeah, and I believe, you know, one of the highway trucks with a hitch will have to bring it down there. So that's where we're at.
You see them in all, a lot of other towns.
Yeah, it's
That
initially,
put up.
initially getting them installed and the permitting, it takes some time. So,
And it is all state. We don't really have any, much more than just, you know, like the leverage we have from you and to call them and say, hey, come on, guys. But other than that, it's up to them. It's a state highway.
I know that, but it seems like the state is amenable to this whole thing.
I mean, I know a year,
Somebody just needs to put a signature, as I understand it, on a piece of paper.
well, now they do. I mean, initially, when this was proposed, we didn't have a radar sign in place. A grant was submitted and a grant was funded, and then the sign was purchased and then the sign was delivered. And the next part after the sign was delivered was to submit the permit to the state and then have the state sign off on it. After that, Ray and the chief of police will deliver it. Things take time. But it is in the works and it will happen. And I'm hoping that it happens soon.
Cars just whiz by,
Yep.
kids are going on these narrow pieces of land trying to walk to these fields, it's like, and I can't tell you how many cyclists come through here. Riding their bikes, I don't know, it's on a set tour or path or something, like a map someplace, but there's a lot of cyclists on it.
It's a perfect place for a radar sign. I mean, when you see them, you usually see them in places like Perkinsville Village. And that sign will be installed, like I said, as soon as we get the approval from the state.
Oh,
So I just wanted to clarify, the town has done everything that they can do, that they need to do to get this sign right now,
Yes,
correct?
as of right now,
So the
everything,
town is completely,
we are just waiting for the state to sign off on the permit.
okay, so you thinking if we call them every day, that would help?
But
Okay,
does anybody up there know you, or,
Yeah.
does anybody up there know you?
probably,
well, I mean, I don't know what else we can do here.
Well, we
I mean-
we
Just-
communicated with the state on Wednesday, and it should be, you know, the turnaround should be a few more days or a couple of weeks.
I just want to clarify my comment that I just made to Anne Marie. Anne Marie Christensen is our former representative, and sitting beside her is our current representative, correct? John Harrison and Anne Marie. And that's why I made that comment, of, does anybody up there know you? Just so you understand that.
And you know, from our perspective, again, Anne Marie, although this was discussed a year ago, we didn't have anything in place at that time. We had potential funding, and et cetera, and it takes time for that funding to be received, the sign to be purchased, and then from there, the sign has to be delivered.
things work, I know people game the system, like, ooh, can I, hit it, or not hit the sign, but hit the speed limit,
Yep.
people sort of game that thing, kinda.
We have the sign.
But it slows traffic, it works.
Yeah, we have the sign right now in our possession, and it's designated for Perkinsville Village once the permit is signed by the state,
Oh,
so.
So I just quickly, I wasn't here for the last meeting, so the split vote, I was not the one that was here to make a deciding vote on it. But I am curious, just quick question about that. That grant was only for Perkinsville and to look at the sidewalks in Perkinsville, correct? Nothing about the sidewalks in Ascutney, where the
No, I
school
don't know,
is and
because
the
it was
post
just
office
very
and the,
vague. It just said sidewalks,
Library.
cycling,
can
bike path. or
let me interject for a second. It really isn't about sidewalks. It's more,
Yeah,
it's
not
more
sidewalks,
about
but that's
space.
that. Okay.
Than,
Alright.
like bike, pedestrian
Widening.
walkways.
which would be the same here, and the cars are just as fast here on Route 5, so. So anyways, that was, I'd like to see if that was a whole encompassing thing or not, because that's something that has been talked about for years and years with kids here and,
Just look into it, because there's a lot of traffic, foot traffic and bike
And how, just another quick follow-up, how would you recommend letting people know? Like, should we send letters out to everybody? Should we put it in the paper? Should
I'm
we?
not sure, but
So anytime we do anything in the town for any kind of a vote here, we should make sure we go around and knock on doors per se too, I think.
no, well, I mean, that's a little bit extravagant. I mean,
So we've been,
I can see if we need to, then Perkinsville Community Improvement Committee together, if that's what it takes. Or you could call me. I mean, it's a small village, there's 70 people.
right,
You tell one person, you talk to one person, everybody knows everything. And
which is,
sort of,
but the thing,
Oh, that's interesting.
it is, because I mean, I've been doing stuff here for only 7 years, not as long as other people, but every single time somebody's like, I didn't know anything about it, and it was like, we've talked about stuff for, you know.
maybe if it's warned even better, because it just said on, because I went back and checked, and said, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
And it says bicycle
Pedestrian walkway.
path or something.
Yeah.
Period, no Perkinsville, nothing. And then when I read the minutes of the meeting, it looks like Perkinsville was finally mentioned like 4 paragraphs down. And people aren't gonna usually look at the agendas. But, you know, if somebody saw that, and you go, hey, would that pedestrian be here? And it's like, they may be against it, they may be for it, but at least people know what I'm talking about.
Ray,
Just a quick recap, the bicycle study was, there's money available in the state to do bike and pedestrian paths. Perkinsville already has a widened shoulder in front of the school and in front of, like between the pink house and the green. There's already a widened shoulder there. So they're gonna study filling in the dots to get people from the school area down to the bottom of like Upper Falls Road. So it's kind of minor. And if that worked there and it was feasible, instead of having sidewalks that have to be maintained and are higher, it would be plowed by the state, you know, just like they are now. That whole template could be used in Scotty to possibly put in widened sidewalks or shoulders over here for the same use. This is a lot bigger, there's a lot more homeowners, a lot more people to talk to and deal with, so the thought was it was smaller over there to get started.
yes, well, hang on, Anne Marie. John had his hand up also. Yeah, I walked that with Ray before the meeting that day, and, you know, we were coming up over the hill with traffic, and I know exactly what you're talking about over there. I also voted for this. This was a grant to do a study about fixing this, which would have provided the engineering and stuff if a grant came out in the future